I try to remember what I heard without having a driver license or registration with the license plates and everything. And because I heard some things about you don't need that when you do commerce.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not doing commerce, you simply just driving home or somewhere without doing commerce.
Yeah.
That's when you need that documentation.
Mm-hmm. Well, you talk about the driver's license itself.
Yeah, being a Moor driver without having that.
Well, whether it's a Moor or a citizen, right?
Yeah.
People have been talking about, first and foremost, you got different type of Moors now. But if you're dealing with the Moors of the Moorish Science Temple of America, many of them subscribe and believe that they just go ahead and get a driver's license because they are under the impression that that's the law to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, but if you look and take the time to research it thoroughly, you will see that there's truth in the fact that the driver's license is for commerce, which it is. You know, so truckers, a chauffeur, a cab driver, those persons need driver's license. But a private citizen, that's not a requirement, because if so, then there would be a law from the state legislature stating as such. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the whole thing is what does the law say? Is there a law from Congress or the state or one of the state legislators made a law stating that the driver's license is required for a private citizen as opposed to a chauffeur, cab driver, etc.? Then that's what needs to be determined.
Okay.
Is that
that does answer the question. It does bring truth to it, because I saw a video of a guy getting pulled over by police, and he said all these codes and stuff, and then they let him go.
Yeah, but that's, see, and it depends again on the situation. In that situation, some police officers have faced persons such as that who make those arguments. I wouldn't suggest it. I would not suggest anybody arguing with a police officer, because that's not where you're supposed to have that issue addressed. It's in the court, right?
Yeah.
Not in the street.
Yeah.
Right, especially if you're an Asiatic in this day and time. You don't want to, so you might have the wrong police officer.
Right.
You're up here arguing with a man with a gun who already doesn't like you. So,
personal experience I had about me, I was riding with one of my cousins, and a cop pulled us over. Instead of going to the driver's side, he went to my side. I was sitting in the passenger seat, front seat, and he asked me for my ID, and I just said, I'm just a passenger. And he started asking me questions.
Yeah, you don't have to answer any of his questions if you're a passenger.
Yeah.
The issue is with whom he stopped.
Yeah.
If you're in the passenger seat and you haven't conducted any crime of any kind, you're not in no position. You don't have to answer any questions.
Yeah. But my response, he asked for, I said, just a passenger. I never showed it. And
right. But that's the correct answer. I'm the passenger. Go over there, bother him, leave me alone. Yeah. What is it? You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's something we forget. And there's a lot of arguments, and you have to look at the propaganda that's taking place at the so-called, when they use the term Moors to try to give the Moors this light as though we're foolish and crazy, and making absurd comments that, we're above the law and things such as that, when that's the furthest thing from the truth. The fact is, the Moorish Science Temple of America under Prophet Noble Drew Ali, what he was teaching was character building. Deal with your character, how you speak to people. That's and learn how to be a perfect citizen. So he was teaching you that we have to study civics to be a perfect citizen. But that got misconstrued and changed as time progressed on, and this is where we're at now. Now you got Moors up here doing all kinds of things, going to people's houses, trying to take over, saying that they're the sovereigns and all this other foolishness. That's not what the divine national movement was about. The divine national movement, what the prophet was teaching, is no different than what the Christians call the promised land. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or in your biblical prayer, when it says, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
That will be done.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It's the same concept. It means the same thing. But We're saying Moorish, what he was teaching and what they don't want to address is the fact that you are a state citizen. Mm-hmm. So when you call yourself Moorish American in the early 1900s, there was a distinction. When you talked about your nationality, your Moorish nationality, you could just, what you called yourself at that time frame was enough, and it was powerful enough. But we're in 2023. Administrations have changed. We have different administration now. We're up on a whole different beast. So it's not what you call yourself, is how you move today.
Okay.
Do you know what to say? So you can wear a fez on your head. It doesn't mean anything. You can call yourself Moorish American and claim your nationality. There's power in that. But it doesn't mean that that power exists in a courtroom.
Okay.
Unless you can back it up.
It's not what you call yourself. It's what you know. Do you know how to stand on the divine creed of your ancestors? And this is what the prophet was teaching. Mm-hmm. For those that don't know. You know, it's more than just calling yourself so. So when we say, or when in the bylaws it tells you about obeying, it's talking about, we say we're state citizens. That means you're part of a republic form of government. It's not being part of a democracy. That's not what it was. And that's not what it is. Because, they trying to give us this light. A Moor is one who's supposed to have light. Has the ability to see and do things that Negro, colored, black can't do. Mm-hmm. Because they're still in the dark. Mm-hmm. That's what it's supposed to mean. That's what it is. A Moor is, so when you see the fez, that means the light is on. That person can give you direction that help benefit you. You know what I mean? His conduct is pure. He's upright. You don't see him doing what the average people out here doing, drinking, smoking. A true Moorish American, you don't see that. His behaviors are no different. You should not be able to distinguish between a true Moorish American, no different from a member in the Nation of Islam. A Muslim, one calls himself the Muslim, the other calls himself a Muslim, but their behaviors would be identical in behavior. The only way you could distinguish is because one has a fez on, one does not. But that's not what we see today. You got these people out here, these different characters making these claims. The driver's license is, you have to do this, and you have to be a great SEAL, and you have to do all these other. And none of that is what was taught under the teachings of Noble Drew Ali.